Hey guys, welcome back. Right, okay, so back with a Xbox 360 video, and this is going to be the final pickup video for my 360 collection. So yeah, I've now got all the games that I had on my list. Of course, when I say I've completed the collection, I must clarify because I don't know if I ever have before. Previously, I completed the original Xbox collection. There's no more games I need to add to that set. I went through the entire library and picked out everything I wanted, so that's done. PlayStation 3 is pretty much done. There's not really anything that I want much extra for that collection. I've always said, like, the idea for me is to just basically have the list of the essential games, get those on the shelf, and then I'm happy. And then if over time I decide that I want to pick up a game or two here and then I find something I'm interested in, I'll do that and add it to the collection. I say Xbox original, it's all done. I don't need to add anything to that. PS3, I haven't bought anything for PS3 for a couple of years since I finished the collection. And to be quite honest, there's the odd game like Little Big Planet Casting, but I'm not that bothered. The only one that's really piqued my interest in recent times was I saw Stu Ninja Bear Hug, but he picked up, was it Time Crisis, I think it's called Raising Storm. That's one I don't have, and I always wanted Time Crisis 4, the big box with the gun, but the price of it puts me off. So I didn't realise that Raising Storm has Time Crisis 4 included, and another game as well, a pirate game, so you can just use the Move controllers. So I might pick that up at some point. But yeah, effectively the PlayStation 3 collection is done because I've got all of the essential titles that I wanted, most of which are games I played at the time and loved. And so it's the same with the 360 as well. I've just picked up all the games I absolutely love for the system. And, you know, going forward, if for some reason a hidden gem pops up on someone's pickup video, I think, oh, that looks interesting, I will pick it up and try it. But, you know, effectively the collection for me is now to the point where I will no longer be actively looking for Xbox 360 because I have all of the main games that I wanted to get, and I'll be moving on to the next console after this. Right, so that's a little bit of a preamble, but I've got about 14 games to show you. So yeah, I just went for it. I just basically got to a point where I was looking at it going, I just need to finish this list off. It was driving me a bit mad, and you know, I've been a little hesitant, holding back a little bit because I've bought quite a bit this year already anyway. And I thought I could just take my time with this collection, but I'll be honest with you, I want to get crack on with the, I hate to use the term proper retro, but it is, isn't it really? I mean, as I've said before, for me, I'll just talk from my own perspective, not from anybody else's, but for me, prior to 2000 is really what when it comes to collecting, I absolutely love. When it comes to collecting and buying and playing, I like everything, but actual proper hardcore collecting for me is mostly, I mean, it includes PS1, but it is mostly cartridge based, 16-bit, 8-bit, a little bit of 64-bit. That's what really, really makes me happy as a collector, to take that time to really hunt down those games in the best condition possible for a good price. But that said, I do absolutely love everything after 2000. It's just, for me, it's more of a gaming than it is a collecting mentality. But yeah, I'm just glad to have gotten them done really. It's just, you know, I was getting to the point of slowing right way down and taking too long with it, and I just thought, no, just go for it. They're still cheap, just crack on, get them. There's only one game here that I can think of that was the most expensive game, and that was one that I even managed to get a good deal on, so it all worked out. Most of them were cheap. Anyway, that said, let's just get straight into the video. So I got about 14 games to show you, I think, and the first one I picked up is Prince of Persia Forgotten Sands, and this one is a sealed copy. So this is the final sealed game. You'll see in the last couple of pickup videos, I've been picking up quite a few sealed 360 games. I was getting quite lucky with them. And this was the final one I got. After this, I couldn't get any deals on sealed games for all the other games I wanted. So that's another thing that was slowing me down, was the meticulous nature of going through hundreds of bloody auctions trying to find one with a decent disc, because most people don't take photographs of the discs, and the ones that do don't always get the condition right. They don't know what like new means or what very good means. So you just have to just rifle through everything until you find a really good one. And that's what gets a little bit frustrating with disc-based collecting for me. That's why cartridges are so much easier. When it comes to PS1, I don't generally care because I just expect them to be knackered. They're going to be scratched to hell, not much you can do about it. If you get a good one, great, it's a bonus. But generally, cartridges are a lot easier. Is it yellow? Is the label knackered? No, it's not. Great, I'll have it. With these, you're just looking at scratches on a DVD and it's bloody stupid. Anyway, so yeah, Christ, going off on tangents here. Prince of Persia, yeah, Forgotten Sands, I've got it on PS3. Love this game, played it loads. The only one I've ever completed as well. You know, I love the PC original, I love the Super Nintendo version, don't think I ever played the Mega Drive one. And, you know, on the PS2 Xbox era, Sands of Time was the best one. Didn't like Two Thrones and the other one. And I've also recently, in the last, I think it's the last pickup video, maybe the one before that, I picked up the cel-shaded Nolan North Prince of Persia sealed as well. So, because I want to try it, because I've only played the demo from what I can remember. I don't remember playing the full game. And I was never that keen on the cel-shaded look of it, but I wanted to give it another try. But this one, I did complete. Absolutely loved it. Little difficult, I'll be honest with you. I've said before, the controls. You have to learn a lot of controls in this game, especially near the end of the game. It got really complicated because I was pressing every single button to do multiple jumps and freezing walls and things. It was a nightmare. But I remember having a really good time with it, so I'm very much looking forward to giving it another shot. I think it was Rob, Champion 2D Rob, was talking about it on Instagram recently. He'd gone and tried to play this game and he couldn't get on with it, which is a real shame because it is a great game, you know. But sometimes games just don't pull you in, and you know, if they don't pull you in straight away, you tend to just not bother and you put them on the back burner. I do that myself. I found that actually recently with Sackboy on the PS5. I started playing Sackboy and thought I was going to love it, and I found it a little bit slow and a little bit monotonous. To be honest, it's a nice looking game and the platform's interesting, but I've got to really sit down and put more time into it. Hopefully it'll grab me. Next one. Okay, next up is the most expensive game I picked up for the collection this time. That is Ridge Racer 6. I've been trying to get this for ages. A couple of years ago, and from what people told me, it was because of, I always forget what it's called, the Xbox thing, the monthly payment. Oh, Jesus, whatever that subscription is called, I can't think of it. Anyway, apparently this was available on Xbox One or Xbox Series, I don't know which one. And so for some reason this made this physical copy go up in price. And I remember a couple of years ago it went up to like 60 quid. And I was like, I am not paying 60 quid. I'd rather not have the game than pay 60 quid for it, as much as I enjoy it. So I waited and waited and waited, and it came down probably the last year or so. It's been down to around about 20, 25, sometimes 30. I think I paid 16. It was either 16 or 18 total with postage and everything for this. It was the cheapest copy available at the time, and I thought, it's a bit of a punt, but it's supposed to be in good nick. And I looked at all the photographs, and they did take photos of the disc and everything, which was great. But it was actually in really nice condition when it arrived. I was really surprised. So yeah, that was well worth the punt, and I absolutely love Ridge Racer 6. I'll be honest, at this generation, Ridge Racer 7 on the PS3 is a better game. I just think it plays better and it's a lot faster and smoother, and I like the tracks more. But this is a stunning game. You put this on now and it really does hold up well. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, really happy to have Ridge Racer 6 in the collection. The only Ridge Racer I won't be having from that generation is Unbounded, because it's absolute shite and it's not a Ridge Racer game. It's a mashup of Ridge Racer and Burnout. Very much more Burnout. Yeah, I did play it and I'm not impressed. Next up, finally got Far Cry Instinct's Predator. So yeah, this is apparently the first two games that are on the original Xbox, which I have up there, but I assume remastered up to maybe 720p. I don't know if it's 1080 or not. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? As long as what's on the back? No, it has got. God, that's so tiny. Yeah, I can see it's got 1080, but I can't tell if that's an interlace or a progressive. Whatever. It's going to look gorgeous. That's the main thing. Yeah, I mean, I've said before, I never got on with these games. I could never get into Far Cry. And then in 2024, I think it was, I sat down and played the first Far Cry on Xbox original, which, as I say, is up there. And I just suddenly clicked with it, and I understood what I was doing wrong before, and I managed to find my way through the game. I haven't completed it yet. I've still got to go back and finish it, but I did get probably about 80% through the game. I was really enjoying it. It's great. So I remember I mentioned it on one of my old Xbox pickup videos this year, and I was asking for people's advice on whether this was worth getting, and a couple of people said, yeah, it is. So yeah, really happy to have this. The HD version, hopefully it's going to look absolutely stunning. Yeah, great games. To be honest though, even the original Xbox, they really do hold up well. I think that, I knew it was going to go out of my head. Come on, Ubisoft. Jesus, how can I forget Ubisoft? Did a fantastic job with the original games, you know. They really juiced that Xbox, and the lighting effects and the colours and that, stunning. Next up, I got a replacement because I already had this up down the collection, but the disc was absolutely shot to shit. So I hunted down a better copy, and I found a guy selling two games I wanted, and he said they were immaculate and they are pristine. These are the best condition used games I've picked up, I think. So it's Modern Warfare 2. So we all know what this is. I mean, it's Call of Duty 2, Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, it's really good. I've spoken about it before. No Russian at the time. It's the only time I've ever played a modern style video game, and actually been like, I ain't comfortable with that. Not offended or upset about it, just like, no, that don't sit right at all. But you know, since I played it a few years back, it was alright. It didn't really bother me that much. I still can't shoot the civilians. I just don't. It just don't feel right. I understand the context of the story and why you need to do it, but no, don't like it. But yeah, this is in absolutely immaculate condition, manual, everything. I mean, all these are complete, by the way, all got manuals, obviously. But really happy to have that in the collection, much better than the one I did have. From the same seller, I also picked up the game that I didn't have, which was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And I haven't played this one since it first came out. I still remember this game came out. I don't remember if I had it on 360 or PS3 at the time, possibly 360. I remember being at work and there was a kid called Eamon who I worked with at the time. And I remember he was playing this at the same time and we'd have a back and forth. It was one of those, you know, what they call water cooler moments, like every day we'd be in the office talking about this and how far we'd gotten and how good it was. And I remember it being a fantastic campaign. So I really need to go back and play this again. You know, the ghillie suit part and all that was absolutely superb, yeah. It's amazing I've never gone back and played this, actually. I'll definitely have to do that. I know there's a remastered version that came out on Xbox. Is it Xbox One? I'm never too sure if it's Xbox One and or Series X or PS4, PS5. I think it's on PS4. I think that's right. I don't really keep up with modern stuff. Next one I got is an essential, another Call of Duty, and it's World at War. Yeah, one that when it originally came out, I was pretty lukewarm on. I loved the German parts, didn't like the Japanese parts. But over the years, as I've played it, I've really started to love this game. It's absolutely brilliant. There's some great levels, a fantastic campaign. All the Japanese stuff's actually really good and all. I've said many times before in videos, I don't ever feel like the Pacific has really gotten its dues when it comes to video games. I don't think there's ever been a really solid one that's really caught my attention and made me go, wow, that's awesome. Generally, it's fighting the Jerrys that's the fun part. Fighting the Japs is a bit boring, I find, a lot of the time, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just Hitler and the boys was just, they dominate the story, don't they, really, in history. So, you know, the Japanese are sort of back burner characters. But yeah, still, nonetheless, World at War, fantastic game. Right, next pile. So this one is an essential exclusive. Had to get this back in the collection. I remember when this came out and playing this and sitting up at night after work playing it and absolutely loving it. That is Saints Row, the very first game. So yeah, this is still exclusive to Xbox 360. Incredible they've never remastered this and done like a Saints Row collection. I'm amazed they haven't put this on other consoles. Maybe it's a rights issue or something, I don't know. But yeah, I remember this was really cool. And this one is completely different to the sequels because this one is a straight up serious GTA wannabe ripoff. And it's really good. I really enjoyed it at the time. There's some great missions, great characters. It was fantastic. And then of course the second one came out and it went completely mental. And from there they just went down the comedic road. But yeah, had to grab this and get it back in the collection. So very happy to have it. Actually only arrived this morning as well. So yeah, lovely condition too. Next one, won't be any surprise, but I had to get this. One of my favourite James Bond games. GoldenEye 007 Reloaded. Or yeah, it is GoldenEye 007. It's GoldenEye Reloaded 007 according to the spine and on the front. I can't read. Yes, so I had the original Wii version when that came out. Loved it, adored it. I thought the reimagining was absolutely fantastic. I really liked the way they extended all of the levels. And yeah, it's got a bit of the Call of Duty going on, but I don't mind that at all. You know, even when you get to Serenaya, I hope I said that right, where you're in the snow, that is so cool when the camera comes around to Daniel Craig's head and you've got the silenced pistol and you're working your way through the world. It just feels so much bigger and more expansive than what the N64 was obviously able to handle at the time. But I don't know, man. I don't know why people don't like this. I think it's fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. I've got it on Wii, I've got it on PS3, I've now got it on 360. And I am a big James Bond video game fan. It's one of my favourite series to buy games for. And, you know, besides having an Xbox 360 collection, PS3 collection, I do have sort of a James Bond mini collection going on as well. I've got a lot of the games. I've still got a couple more I need to pick up for my Bond collection. But yeah, it certainly has grown over the years. So I really absolutely adore this game and I highly recommend giving it a shot if you've never played it. You know, fair enough using Daniel Craig instead of Brosnan, which is a shame, but nonetheless, it works. And the guy that plays Alex Trevelyan is really, really good. They do tweak the story slightly, which I didn't have a major problem with. I think, personally for me in this, the actress that plays Natalia is the best actor in this. I absolutely love the way she portrays that character in this game. It's brilliant. Yeah, highly recommend this one. So next one, I wasn't going to pick it up. It's a James Bond game that I don't have for the 360. I do have it on PS3 and it's not the greatest game in the world. But for the sake of my James Bond collection, I decided to pick it up. It's not expensive. And I did do a bit of Googling to compare versions, PS3 and 360. Apparently the 360 does have slight advantages. It does run a little bit smoother, so I thought it might do. And that is, I'm sure you've guessed, 007 Legends, the one modern James Bond game I haven't completed. Yeah, I struggled with this game for a long time because the controls and the game just feels very clunky. But I used to get stuck on Odd Job, which is very early in the game, and it drove me crazy. I couldn't work out how to do the QTEs. But I played it, I think it was last year, and I managed to suss it out, and I got through it quite easily. So I was like, brilliant. And I think I got to Moonraker. I can't remember how far that is. I'm sure it's Moonraker. It's either that or Spy Love Me. I'm not too sure which one it was. But I got stuck. I got stuck in a room shooting a load of dudes, and I just couldn't get through it, and it drove me insane. So I wanted to pick it up again anyway for my Bond collection, but I will try and play it on the 360 opposed to the PS3 this time and see how far I can get. But I really like the concept. I love the fact that you get to play all these amazing moments from these James Bond films. The James Bond films, are still, aside from Daniel Craig, are still quite new to me. I didn't grow up with them. I didn't watch them on TV. And it was only 2018 when I first watched all the Pierce Brosnan films and fell in love with Brosnan's Bond. And then in 2023, I think it was, I actually went back and watched all of the other films for the first time. And since then, I've watched a few of them a couple of times more. And I really enjoy them a lot, actually. They're great films. But it's just, when you play this, a film like Majesty's Secret Service, which is my least favourite James Bond film, the end sequence with the big gun battle in the film is brilliant. I love that. And you get to play that in here in this game. And that was such a great idea. It works really well. It looks absolutely stunning. So yeah, I think despite its issues, it's actually underneath it has got a good idea going on. And if you can just get to grips with it and it doesn't irritate you too much, it can be quite a fun game to play. It's just a shame that it's nowhere near the level of the Quantum games, the GoldenEye that we got, Bloodstone. All of those games are far superior. But yeah, nonetheless, still glad to have it in the collection. It goes with my James Bond set. The next one is an absolute no-brainer, and that is GTA 4. I love this. This is my favourite Grand Theft Auto game in terms of story, campaign and characters. I absolutely love it. I love Nico. I've completed it about 3 times over the years, and it's always fun when you go back to it. I mean, now, I did go back to it a couple of years ago and started playing it. I never got around to finishing it. And I did find, I'll be honest, I found the cameras and the cars and everything. It was a bit jarring because it's been so long, and it's like, wow, this has aged interestingly. But I know Ninja Bear Hug has been trying to, well, I don't know if he still is, he was trying to play it a few months back, and he was struggling with the cars as well. I remember at the time when it came out, everyone was, in the reviews, were saying, oh, the cars are a nightmare, they're terrible. And I really loved it. It felt, at the time, it felt like, because of the triggers on the PS3 version, which are very slippy on the DualShock 3, unfortunately, but the L2, R2, they felt like I was driving a real car, like using pedals. I mean, it probably doesn't now when I go back to it, it'll probably be awful, but yeah, nonetheless, I absolutely love Nico and his cousin, and all of the other, like, was it Brucey, I think was one of the characters really good in it as well. And then you have the Irish fellas and all when you go and rob the bank, and there's so much good stuff in this game. It's absolutely brilliant. And there's missions that stick in my head which are so dark when you think about the context of what's happening and what you're being told to do. It's like, Jesus Christ, and well, it doesn't matter. I'm sure most people have played this. So at the end of the game, when you're on the island, I can't put the name of the island, is in New York, and you've got your little New York jumper on and stuff, and he's depressed really, because he's all alone, and it's like, shit, man, it really is quite heavy. Fantastic. I love Grand Theft Auto 4. I've been seeing loads online about the potential or possibility of Rockstar doing a remaster. I mean, I don't know if they want to do that when GTA 6 is just coming out. It'd be great if they did. I mean, I know they remastered the other 3, but if they have to do a proper remaster on number 4, I would actually like it if they corrected all the things that people have problems with, instead of just updating the resolution on it. Just, make it work for a modern controller so it feels a lot more natural, because then I think a lot more people would give it a chance and really experience how great that story is. It's a great game. Next one is one that Pixel Paul recently picked up on my recommendation, which I always hate when people do that and go, I saw Snestastic talking about this game and how great it is. I always think, Jesus, I hope when they play it they don't hate it. But it is Enemy Fronts. So I've got this on PS3, so I thought I'd grab it on 360 as well, so it's on both consoles, so depending on which system I'm playing, I've always got the games available. Yeah, I mean, a game that's got derided by the press. I know some people like myself enjoy this, and yeah, it has got technical limitations. I mean, Christ, you look at the graphics. I can't remember how the 360 version plays. I'm going to guess it's going to play better than the PS3 version, I would hope. But the PS3 version yeah, it does struggle. It does sort of. I can't remember if it's screen tearing or if it's just frame rate, but yeah, it did struggle a little bit. But I really liked the way the game is laid out. I thought the graphics were absolutely gorgeous for the time. It would have been much better on the next generation. I wish they'd remastered it, but obviously it probably didn't sell well enough. But it would have been nice to get a full remaster on the PS4 and Xbox One so that it did run as intended with the high-end graphics and the smooth frame rate. But I always liked this because it felt like a more open world first-person shooter and you're able to just go off the beaten path. I've said in previous times when I've talked about this that I always remember the one bit I was walking down the country lane and then off in the distance you can hear some German soldiers arguing with some local people, and you can go off down the hill and you'll suddenly spot them at a house and they're hassling people, and you can got the decision then. You either continue on your path to the next mission objective, or you can just go down and kill the Germans and save the locals. And I love that option to have those little, sort of like little RPG moments in a way, I suppose. I mean, that's it's not my kind of gameplay normally, but I really like the way they did that, and I really enjoyed enemy fronts. I know I'm definitely in the minority though, but I think it's a great game. Next up is another game that is very much, I mean, I don't even know if you call it a B level game. It's probably a C or a D, but it's one that I really enjoyed on the Xbox 360. I played this, in fact, no, I played it on the PS3 first a couple of years back. So yeah, it is Soldier of Fortune Payback. So yeah, a very rough looking game graphically. I mean, it's nice, but compared to what a lot of the other games look like, it's pretty rough. Yeah, it's just a very basic first person shooter. It's not trying to do anything special. And I played it a couple of years back for the first time on PS3. I had a great time. I finished the whole game. It's just one of those really old school basic first person shooters where there's a sort of rough story that you used to get on Xbox and PS2. There's a rough story that surrounds it, but generally you're just going around blowing people to pieces. That's always a fun thing to do, isn't it? You don't have to think too much. You just pull the trigger and throw some grenades. And I would recommend playing this one if you like doing that, because this is a fun game. Definitely got its limitations, obviously technically not the greatest game in the world, but just as a fun first-person shooter experience, and I don't think it was that long either. I'm going to guess it's probably a 6 to 8 hour campaign. I don't know. It wasn't a very long campaign. But yeah, definitely recommend it. Well worth trying Soldier of Fortune Payback. Next up is a AAA game, one of the best games on the system and of that generation, and one of my favourite series, and we're getting a brand new entry in the series in August, which I cannot wait to play, and it is Mafia II. So yeah, absolutely stunning. I played the first Mafia on Xbox when I started collecting Xbox games back in around 2010. I couldn't get into it. I found it really difficult to get in. I never went back to it. Then Mafia 2 come out on the 360 PS3 era, and I played this and I was absolutely blown away. But I thought this game was great. I remember seeing it at E3 when they were running the demos of it, and I thought it looked stunning then. And when I actually played the game, so impressed. I love the storyline. I love the character of Vito. I can't remember what his mate's called. Oh god, that's annoying. His best mate is absolutely brilliant, and what happens at the end, tragic, absolutely tragic. But yeah, what a brilliant game this was. So many great missions to go on. So much fun. I love open world games. I love GTA, Mafia, Sleeping Dogs, Watch Dogs, all those games. They take a long time to play through. But I know a lot of people always say, oh, I don't do the missions, I just do the side missions, or I just drive around causing mayhem. I always play the missions. For me, it's all about do the story, enjoy the story, complete all the missions, and then I'll have a mess around and drive around the world and just murder people for the hell of it. But yeah, Mafia 2 is absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait. We're getting Mafia Old World in August. Old Country, sorry. Mafia Old Country. I'm really looking forward to sitting down and playing that one on my newly acquired PS5. Right, so final game for the Xbox 360 collection is one that I never have played this game. It's Dead Rising. I've got Dead Rising 2 on the shelf already. I picked it up a while ago, so I figured I'd pick up the first one as well. Yeah, I played the demo of this back in the day on Xbox Live. I thought it was alright, didn't really blow me away. I'm not a big fan of the hack and slash stuff and like having shitloads of enemies to fight at once. I don't get that. It's never been my thing. But I wanted to sort of broaden my horizons a little and give it a try. And it's not an expensive game, so I thought, why not? It's got a good reputation. I mean, yeah. So I've got Dead Rising, I've got Dead Rising 2, I'll see how we get on. There's also another Dead Rising 2, isn't there? There's like a director's cut or something you can buy. I can't remember what it was called. And obviously there's Dead Rising 3 that's on Xbox One as well. So if I do manage to get into the series, then I'll probably pick up number 3 and give that a blast. But yeah, that's it. That's the Xbox 360 done. The full list that I had is all complete. All the big hitters, all the AAAs I wanted. Some of the little lesser known quality games like Soldier of Fortune are in there as well. Very happy with what I've got. It's going to be about a shelf and a half, shelf and a bit, so it's not too bad, don't take up too much space. But that's that. So next up is going to be the PlayStation 2. So yes, there will be a pickup video coming up for that one, because I recently picked up the console and some games, which obviously you can see back there on the shelf in that gap I created for them. And then we'll be building up the PS2 collection, and once the PlayStation 2 collection is finally done, then we're going back to what, as I said, proper retro. So we're talking Dreamcast backwards, I suppose, aren't we really? We're talking 1999 backwards, because yeah, obviously PS2 is 2000, so yeah. So we'll see how that goes, and that's going to be a big one, because there's a lot of systems and a shitload of games. And I'm running out, look at this, I'm running out of space, look. My shelves are getting full up pretty quickly, so eventually, later this year, I'm hopefully going to have my game room sorted out, and I'll post some videos about that as and when it happens, and we'll build that together. And then obviously I'll be able to put in a lot more storage space, because I'm going to need it as these collections build up. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below as always, and I'll see you in the next video.